First Shane's Hill derby of the season then. A fixture that always carries a little bit more bite for Larne and Ballymena. Larne looking to kick on from a frustrating 1-1 draw with Bangor at Inver last week. Ballymena, meanwhile, on a run of 3 consecutive league defeats. However, they are to title-chasing Coleraine, Glentoran and Linfield. Donnelly up the line to Simpson. Cuts inside, finds Paul O'Neill. O'Neill finds himself some room to shoot. Solid stop from O'Neill. Cricky Gallagher inside the Ballymena half. 1-2 with Conor McKendry and out to Cosgrove on the wing. Here's Tiernan O'Connor, player who's really coming into his own so far this season. Physical presence for Larne. O'Connor. Nice bit of interplay with Conor McKendry. Ball's left out for Gallagher. Through ball into the box. Here's Leroy Miller, the former Ballymena man, on the turn. Gets a shot away, but it's saved by Sean O'Neill. Rolled short to Toure. Press from McKendry. Larne turned possession over. Here's Mark Randall. Lovely touch to Conor McKendry across the face of goal. Ball's in, but the flag's up. Larne protest, but that's going to be ruled out for offside. Here's Matt Ridley. Long ball from Ridley. Drops down onto the right. Cosgrove backtracks to collect and maintain possession. It's well worked from McKendry back to Cosgrove. McKendry ends up on the deck as a result. Here's O'Connor again, in along the deck. And he made sure this time. Paul O'Neill opens the scoring. 20 minutes gone, and this has been a clinical half for Larne. They deserve the goal richly. And more so Paul O'Neill, who already had the ball in the net, finally gets his goal. Nelson. Ballymena with a foray towards the Larne box. Turned over yet again. Larne's press off the ball. So clinical so far. The pace on McKendry. Ball rather over onto the left-hand side. Paul O'Neill nearly does it again. It's a brave stop from Sean O'Neill. Charge that down. Larne pouring forward yet again. Mark Randall, it's a beautiful touch, beautiful shot from Mark Randall, it's off the bar. Well, that would have been a goal, a season contender. Again, Larne's press just far too much for Ballymena. Randall comes away with the ball. Run inside from Leroy Miller, ends up with Conor McKendry, who pulls the trigger. And there it is. 38 minutes gone, Larne double their lead. Once again, it's Conor McKendry with an effort from range, which sails past Sean O'Neill. The Inver men really in the driving seat in this first half. Really has been a total team performance from Larne so far. Cosgrove's throw down the line. And we are back underway. Can Ballymena find an answer for an utterly clinical Larne who very likely put in their best half of the season so far here at the Showgrounds? Battle for possession. Larne come away with the ball. Here's Paul O'Neill again. McKendry showing to his inside. Paul O'Neill pulls the trigger. Possibly a slight deflection on the way up. Larne's free kick sent short. O'Neill again. Ball into the box is turned away only as far as James Simpson. Larne regain the ball. Donnelly. Another tip over from O'Neill. Here's Tomas Cosgrove, Larne's captain, on the right hand side. Plays it back to Paul O'Neill. Benji McGee. Beautiful footwork from Benji McGee. What a run from McGee. Cuts inside again. Can he get a shot away? Benji McGee just pulls it. Ballymena's corner. Confident from Rowan Ferguson. That's going to do it. Great display on the road from the Invermen. And 3 points on the board.
That was a real good professional away performance and a 2-0 victory here at the Ballymena Showgrounds.
Yeah, we came in here, we were disappointed with the result on Saturday. Not so much the performance, more the result. We've been so dominant in the game and not taking chances. The goal that we conceded was very unlike us, you know, so we had a bit of a point to prove to ourselves more than anybody else and that about Saturday. And they came here, and I think in the first 15-20 minutes of the game they showed what they were all about. The work rate, desire, the press and close down and hurry from the front was what set the tone for the game.
Yeah, I thought that first half was as good as we've seen this season. Was that something you would agree with as well?
Yeah, I thought it was a joy to watch. It's actually probably the most relaxed and most comfortable I've been standing on the sideline. I actually just enjoyed watching them. The work rate was there, the quality was there. You know, some of the football we played was absolutely brilliant, and we cut them open. I'm really disappointed with the one that Paul gets chalked off, because when you watch it back and out there, Conor McKenna's clearly played on by not one but two of their defenders. So to get that overruled was really, really disappointing. But what we did is we did the same thing shortly afterwards, and Paul got on the end of it. We worked incredibly hard this weekend out there in final thirds, breaking teams down and getting in behind teams, and the boys have worked incredibly hard. So it is, and it's great to see them get the rewards.
The front two I thought were excellent. Tiernan O'Connor with an assist and nearly had another one. Paul Neill obviously gets his goal after a first start in a while, so you must be pleased whenever you give opportunities to players and they really take them. Yeah,
Paul led the line brilliantly for us tonight, him and Tiernan. Tiernan was superb, a threat. He's got that quality off both feet, but Paul O'Neill in that, I thought, that was physically very, very strong. He allowed us to get higher up the pitch and build from higher up, so he did. It allows Connor then to flourish and allows other people to run off the back of him, and I thought he was excellent. I thought it was a really strong performance by him. He's got in the end of the one that he scored. He should have had at least two in there. He'll be disappointed with the one that he chipped over the goalkeeper and went wide, but he showed a really, really great desire in that there to lead the line up front for us. For we James Simpson slotting in at left back with Shawnee Graham picking up an injury. James Simpson was excellent, absolutely superb. And like I said, when we needed to dig in and be resolute, we were. But when we were good on the ball, with Mark Randall and Cricky and Donzo stepping in, I thought we were superb and a real good value for that first half lead. One only disappointing is we haven't scored four in that first half with the other chances that we missed.
Mark Randall thought was an absolute joy to watch, especially in that first half. For the whole hour he was on, almost scored a ridiculously good goal himself. But he's a joy to watch when he plays like that, isn't he?
Yeah, they came through the back of us time and time again. That, and Mark's actually picked up a wee injury in his calf, and he was struggling there a wee bit at half time, but he wanted to come out for another 10-15 minutes the second half. And we're obviously still managing Leroy at this point. You know, the 60-minute mark. I thought for 60 minutes Leroy just was relentless with his running, as he always is. It was great to see the big man back out there. The performance he put on was superb. And Mark Randall, like I say, when he's like that, he says there's nobody better in this league. You know, whenever he's in that kind of form and that kind of mood, he's incredible and really difficult to play against and really good to watch. You know, so I thought what we did in the first 45 minutes, because they changed their shape and they went very direct, and they played try to play Big Edigon on the right hand side and go very direct to him and play off it. For all that, of going direct to them, they still haven't had a shot and goal, and I can't really remember Rowe making a save in the whole 90 minutes.
Yeah, it was great to see Leroy Miller get his first start in, I think, almost exactly 18 months, and another clean sheet to go with the collection. I'm pretty sure that's 8 now for the season, and a really good tally.
Yeah, no, it's something we want to continue to build on. You know, if you can keep clean sheets and that, we'll always create chances and score goals. You know, this team's got goals in it, so it has. So we actually split the group this week in that there for our meetings, and we did a defensive one and that. And we talked about the importance of your role as a defender, as your role in that. A built foundation and everything else that we build from, and I think they took that very much to heart. They came out and did everything that we asked of them during that meeting, and they're a very honest bunch and that. So it was great to see them go out there and get the rewards with a clean sheet tonight.
And we move on now to Tuesday, Bangor again at Edinburgh Park, this time in the League Cup, and progress to the quarterfinals. I think it is. It's up for grabs.
Yeah, I can't wait for that game. I can't wait for it. Tuesday night, we'll bounce into Tuesday night now. It was disappointing. Bangor are a really good side, and they've caused real problems to teams this year. But we were naive about how we defended in the first 15 minutes of the game, and we paid the price for it. You know, we'll learn from that. I think we already have. We addressed it in training this week. And with the firepower and the energy that we have in that, I'm really looking forward to the game and hopefully we can progress in the cup, but we know how difficult the task lies ahead. But we're ready for it now, like, and I'm looking forward to it.
Brilliant. Going to get 2-0 win here at Ballymena. That was a really good away performance, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, I think it was important that we obviously bounced back from last weekend with the draw against Bangor. And yeah, I think in the first half especially we were really good, probably up there with the best this season. And then obviously second half they changed it a wee bit and threw a few more people up front, and we had to deal with it, and we showed another side to ourselves.
Yeah, first half I think we would have been maybe disappointed if we had only come in 1-0 up. Such was the dominance and the chances we created. Yeah, absolutely. I think Paul scored one that was, I don't know if it was offside. But like I say, we played some good stuff and we had multiple chances. And like you say, we probably could have put the game to bed by half time. But listen, we'll take the 2-0 win and back down the road. Yeah, it was another fast start. We've seen quite a few of those this season. It was last Saturday in mind, wanting to come out and start well and make amends for that. I think it's important that we start quick. We've got too much quality in the changing room to sort of start slow, and I think it gives us a big advantage if we get an early goal. Teams then have to come out, and then that's when we can really show our stuff. Then second half, as you say, probably more a case of managing it. We got ourselves into a really good position, and we did that fairly well. Yeah, no, again, like I say, we showed that other side of us. We managed it quite well. We had a few counter-attacks that we probably, again, could have put the game to bed, and we didn't. But, we defended very well, and we managed it well. And it's another clean sheet as well, which we had to make sure we got in the second half. I think that's 8 for the season, but I think it's the most in the league as well. So something I know we pride ourselves on. Absolutely. You take the words out of my mouth there. It's something we do. We pride ourselves on. We work hard in training every day to obviously, defend well as a unit, and that's where it starts. The front men know their roles. When we give them the chances, they have to put it away. But it also starts with their pressing and puts us on the front foot too. And tonight was your 300th appearance in the Irish League between your spells with Glentoran and Cliftonville and ourselves. I'm sure it's a really proud moment for you. Yeah, I actually wasn't aware that I was that close to it, to be honest. I just seen it there in the change room. Marshall Gillespie with his tweet. So yeah, no, absolutely delighted, and here's the 300 more. Yeah, and I suppose it shows the consistency with which you play, and how available you are, and how well you keep yourself in that regard, because you're not exactly an old man, but to gather up 300 by this stage is a big achievement. Yeah, well, I think a few people think I'm older than what I am. I'm still only 26, so no, look, I'm delighted. Obviously, you want to play as much as you can, and that's something I take pride in. Representing the club and putting that shirt on every week as much as I can. So, like I say, here's to many more. Yeah, and a lot of big moments and a lot of achievements so far. But I'm sure, as you say, coming into your prime years, you're hungry for more. Absolutely. I've obviously got the league title there the other week, or the other year. Benji put me off. Obviously got the league title there the other year, but it's definitely something that I want to add to. I want more silverware and more success. Brilliant. Thank you. Cheers.